straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here today.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. Right on the show today, can Pakistan get their act together and everything in order in time for the Champions Trophy that's scheduled to take place early next year? The PCB chief himself admits he's worried and that the stadiums at hand are no way close to international standards. Where is the ICC funding really going? In football, for the first time in more than a decade, Lionel Messi's name has not featured in the Argentina World Cup squad for the qualifiers. How tough has this year been for Messi, and is this the beginning of the last dance for the football icon? And China is known for doing all it takes to win medals, but what about what happens right after it? The teenage gymnastics silver medalist not only broke the internet for her iconic pose after winning silver, but also decided to go back and help out at her family restaurant. And in her costume, creating quite the storm. But first, a look at the headlines. Starting with tennis, world number one Jannik Sinner won the Cincinnati Open, beating Francis Tiafoe in straight sets. At 23, Sinner is the youngest men's champion in Cincinnati since Andy Murray in 2008, and in fact, the only one to have won two ATP Masters event this year. Over in the women's draw, world number 3 Aryna Sabalenka won her first title since the Australian Open, beating Jessica Pegula in straight sets. Over in cricket, Samoa's Darius Weiser set a new record for most runs scored in a single over of a men's T20 international. During the T20 World Cup sub-regional qualifier against Vanuatu, Weiser hit 6 sixes and 3 no-balls also contributed to the total. This surpassed the previous record of 36 runs held by India's Yuvraj Singh. South American country Nicaragua has banned 1,500 NGOs. The government considers the organizations hostile towards President Daniel Ortega. Majority on the list are sports associations and chess clubs. Over in football, Ike Gundogan announced his retirement from international football. He last led Germany at Euros 2024. The 34-year-old, who made his debut for Germany in 2011, had featured in 82 internationals. Germany reached the Euro 2024 quarterfinals before losing to Spain after extra time. And Matthew Richardson, fresh off winning 3 Olympic medals for Australia in cycling, is now switching to race for his birth country, Britain. The unexpected switch, approved by the International Cycling Union, shocked the Australian Cycling Federation. The 25-year-old clinched 2 silvers and a bronze at the Paris Games. Pakistan cricket stadiums are in a shambolic state. Not my words, this right from the horse's mouth. Pakistan chief Mohsin Naqvi addressed the media when he was doing the rounds of the venues for inspection. Venues that are set to host the Champions Trophy early next year in Pakistan. And when asked about what he thought of the stadium's infrastructure and how soon they'd be ready, he did not wax any eloquence, he did not shower any praises, and he knew he couldn't, because the media would have had a field day showing him the reality and trolling him for that, because there are enough reasons to show otherwise. So this is what PCB ended up saying instead.
There's a huge difference in international stadiums and those of ours. None of our stadiums are of international standard. There weren't enough seats or proper bathroom facilities, and the view made it seem like you were watching the match from 500 meters away.
The PCB is not pleased with where the country stands in comparison to other cricketing hosts. The condition of all 3 venues is pretty embarrassing, to say the least. Just a reminder, Karachi, Rawalpindi and Lahore are the 3 venues chosen to host the Champions Trophy games. And there are issues, of course, plaguing all of these venues. Lahore is a pretty venue, but the viewing facilities are shambolic. Karachi has not had an upgrade in over a decade. Rawalpindi facilities are in the worst possible state. There is no proper infrastructure in place at any of these 3 venues, something PCB acknowledges. The groundwork is outdated. The fact that there has been no international cricket too has set these stadiums back many years. Now, when it comes to being viewed as an international cricket host, something their own cricketers have been crying hoarse for over years now.
We can't even maintain 3 stadiums. How could we make a new one? Have you seen the roof of the Gaddafi stadium that they were showing with the drone? We can't even control the 3 that we have. We can only dream of making a new one.
In fact, the second test between Pakistan and Bangladesh that was set to take place in Karachi, that's starting tomorrow, 21st of August, had been moved to Rawalpindi instead. Teams had to travel to Rawalpindi to play back-to-back test matches now, because there is some heavy renovation work that's underway in Karachi. It began after the ICC sanctioned the budget for this work, and that will affect the game and the health of the players. That's what PCB came out with a statement saying that the reason why they couldn't hold that match in Karachi was because the renovation work would affect the conditions of the game as well as the health of the players. A lot of dust, a lot of noise, and of course there is a worry that this work itself will not be complete in time for when England tours Pakistan. That's in October. PCB has refrained from giving any commitment to the exact time frame that this would take because, let's face it, the process isn't just a facelift but an overhaul of the whole stadium itself. And time is not a luxury that Pakistan has at the moment. 6 months is a tight window that will continue to shrink here on. And the problem compounds itself because it is a packed schedule that Pakistan is having, an unusually busy one, especially hosting a lot of countries with matches lined up against New Zealand and South Africa just before Champions Trophy. And guess what? Lahore has been ruled out completely from hosting any of these games that Pakistan is set to play from here, this point, till Champions Trophy. That's what sources are saying because of the renovation work. The authorities in the country are hoping that they will be able to divide matches between Karachi, Rawalpindi and Multan for this period. But then again, you want work in Karachi to wrap up in time. Rawalpindi too needs a facelift. The stands, the seating arrangements and the facilities have faced a lot of backlash in the recent past when New Zealand toured Pakistan. So what about the monies? The ICC has approved a budget of $70 million for hosting the Champions Trophy. This happened just last month, but in fact a little more than a month ago. An additional amount close to $5 million has also been set aside in the advent of matches being moved and India not making it to Pakistan. The whole world is going to be watching how this plays out. I've also only touched upon the aspect of stadiums. There is, of course, an additional massive concern that comes with Champions Trophy in Pakistan, and that is security. Just like how Bangladesh is teetering at the moment in the clasp of a political turmoil with the T20 Women's World Cup almost out, that has disrupted every aspect. Pakistan is in a very delicate situation too. Anything remotely disturbing the balance would cast aspersions on whether they will get to host the Champions Trophy. So PCB knows that nothing can go wrong from this moment, and every step or every foot they place has to be done with great diligence and calculation. Arguably two of the greatest to have played the game, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, are in the last phase of their careers. Given the global fanfare the two have, it needs one spark to fuel speculations on when their last day could be. For Messi, that spark has been Argentina's World Cup Qualifiers squad announcement. Argentina announced a 28-member squad for their matches against Chile and Colombia, the qualifiers for the World Cup. This will take place next month, and for the first time in 11 years, we didn't have Messi or Angel Di Maria's names feature as part of Argentina's World Cup squad, adding more heartbreak to what's already been a very difficult year for Messi, 2024. From the highs of winning the World Cup in 2022 to now this, it feels like Messi is at crossroads. And a lot indeed can change in 2 years. The same Messi who was at the top of the world when Argentina won the World Cup wasn't the most loved figure when 2024 started. Messi had given the friendly games between Inter Miami and Hong Kong club a miss. He said he was injured, but fans weren't pleased at all. They wanted to see Messi in action, resulting in outrage and Messi being forced to apologize for this. There was some relief when Argentina clinched the Copa America title last month, but Messi still will look back at this moment with anguish. The captain was subbed off in the Copa America final due to an injury. He limped off the field, was absolutely distraught, as his team had not sealed the victory just yet. Messi was sitting out of the game in tears. It took Argentina an extra time goal right in the dying moments of the game to somehow retain that title. But Argentina fans weren't concerned about that. They were happy that Messi, despite the injury, played the game. He in fact played on till he knew he absolutely couldn't carry on.
Messi came with just one foot, and it shows everything. It was business for Messi. Messi played till he could, until was 30, he gave it all. He's 37 and he's playing.
Of course, controversy followed Argentina right after that Copa America win, and Messi, despite not taking any part in that infamous Enzo Fernandez video that went viral, had to bear the cross, being the captain of the team. And since then, Argentina has had quite the rough ride, especially at the Olympics. The kind of treatment that was meted out to them by all the fans gathered there. Messi has managed to evade all of this because it's been 35 days since the Copa win, but that's how long it's also been since Messi played a single game, featured on the field, or has even spoken on the matter. With the qualifiers approaching in 15 days, Argentina have been cautious given Messi's precarious current situation with his injury. But this also raises the question over Messi's international career. With the next World Cup still 2 years away in 2026, the Copa America next taking place in 2028, can Messi still play another international tournament? Although Messi hasn't set a date to his retirement, I mean, why would anyone, and how can any star possibly? Why does it feel like that day isn't that far off?
I intend to continue. I intend to keep living day by day without thinking about what will come in the future or whether I'll continue or not. It's something I just live each day. I'm 37 years and only God knows when the end will be.
Messi says he intends to continue, but given the extended period he has been out with an injury and only a handful of international fixtures approaching, could this be his last year, at least on the international circuit? Now, before this, Messi's longest injury layoff was way back in 2006, where he was ruled out for 87 days with a fracture. And the 74-day injury layoff in 2005 was due to a torn muscle. Even the ones in 2013 or 2015 were for a muscle tear. But the one he is facing currently is because of a ligament injury. Now, let's not forget, this is an older Lionel Messi. The injuries sustained during his young days was still easy to bounce back from. Any injury for a world-class athlete post mid-30s is a trying one to overcome. Take Roger Federer. One severe knee operation forced his retirement. Rafael Nadal continues to battle with his form after the hip injury he sustained last year that has kept him away from professional tennis for major part hence. And tennis still is not as grueling as football, even though there are subs. This injury has already kept Messi out for more than a month. And the reports suggest it would be some more time before Messi is fit enough to make that comeback and get back onto the field. So the big question, can we see Messi play for Argentina again? Because after the 2 World Cup qualifiers in September, Argentina plays only 4 matches this year, all World Cup qualifiers. Now, we all know the grit Messi has. He doesn't ever give up. We've seen that play out in the past. He may not feature in another World Cup or Copa America, but he will want to make sure he helps Argentina qualify for the World Cup. And if the situation arises and his dear Argentina is in trouble, will Messi come off the squad sheet for a last dance? The Paris Olympics had its fair share of controversies, but it also gave birth to iconic moments. And yes, also stars of the internet, players who gained fandom at the games. And these athletes were not first place finishers or record breakers. Take Chinese gymnast Zhou Yaqin, for instance. She went viral not because of her attire, her skills, though of course they had to be commendable to get her the silver, but because of an innocent gesture. As the very famous and very adorable medal biting moment after Yaqin clinched silver in the women's beam event. All she knew was to hold her prized possession dearly, but the innocent gymnast was clearly unaware of the biting tradition. But you got to give it to the youngster. She watched her fellow medalists and pulled that off with such spunk and broke the internet. But Yaqin sure is a quick learner after she saw her opponents and immediately nailed it too. She wanted to be cool, but the act made her even cooler. That's how popular Yaqin got after the medal moment. People will probably not remember who won gold at that event, but the internet audience surely will not forget Yaqin. But that's not why we're talking about this teenager today. Now, it's been 15 days since Yaqin was on that podium, and you think life would have transformed given her popularity. She would be busy back home, giving interviews, posing for ads, or signing up brand endorsements, right? Maybe all that will follow, but for now, Yaqin is busy with this. Yes, after winning the silver medal, Yaqin went first to visit her parents in Hengyang, a city in China's Hunan province, for a vacation. Something that Yaqin thought would be a very relaxed time for her parents, though. She's still their 18-year-old daughter who will have to help out every time she visits them. So there she was, Paris's silver medalist, doing the usual, helping them serve food at the family restaurant. Right, for the outside world, she might be an internet sensation who defeated the most decorated gymnast, Simone Biles, on her way to clinching silver. But for her parents, nothing has changed. The most fascinating part about this video, though, was Yaqin was still wearing her Olympic uniform, taking pride in what she'd achieved, and maybe just letting the customers know that too. That they are getting served by an Olympic champion. The 18-year-old's gesture, a reflection, though, of the mindset China's Olympians have. For them, winning a medal is just another day at work, a good day, but another day despite that. Life goes on. The athletes still go back to doing what they were, no matter what they've achieved on the world stage. Life doesn't change, and nor does their outlook on it. Yaqin today is only 18. By the time the next Olympics in Los Angeles arrives, she will be 22. Kids revel in their achievements. Any teenager would after that performance, but not China's Yaqin. Clearly, if not her, her parents surely would give her reality checks, reminding her that there's more to achieve and win. And after all of that, there's a family restaurant that she will have to inherit and run eventually. Time for last serve. The Esports World Cup is on, and Saudi Arabia is gripped with esports fervor. So no surprises, a new video gaming geek has emerged. Ibrahim Al Nasser, a gamer with love for retro consoles from Saudi, created a world record by attaching 400 consoles to one television. Take a look.
Hello everyone, my name is Ibrahim Al Nasser, a retro gamer from Saudi Arabia. This is my gaming room. Let's have a tour.
That wraps up Firstpost here today. But of course, do tune in for a lot of updates and analysis from the world of sports right here on Firstpost. I'll see you then. Till then, take care. Bye.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree. One tree for humanity. One tree for Mother Earth. One tree for a future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment. So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished. On the show today, the T20 World Cup Qualifiers has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
We'll start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. For the first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.